There are 11 Incoterms 2020 rules. These globally recognized trade terms, published by the International Chamber of Commerce, determine how costs and risks are split between buyers and sellers conducting international transactions, and when the risk or liability for the goods transfer from the seller to the buyer. I'm Kari Crane, editor of Shipping Solutions' International Trade blog Passages. Today I'll take a closer look at the Incoterms rule FOB, also known as free on board. But first, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our Basics of Exporting videos, sharing practical advice for exporters and importers. Here's what you need to know before using the Incoterm FOB. Under FOB, the seller has fulfilled its obligation when the goods are loaded on the vessel nominated by the buyer at the named port of shipment. With FOB, the seller is responsible for loading the goods on the transport. The buyer is responsible for everything else necessary to get the goods to the final destination. The risk or liability for the goods transfers from the seller to the buyer when the goods are on board the vessel, and the buyer bears costs from that point forward. FOB should only be used for sea and inland waterway transport. Since most goods are now delivered to container yards rather than right to a particular vessel, FOB is usually only used in a few instances with containers at smaller ports. Under past versions of Incoterms, loading typically was fulfilled when goods crossed a ship's rail. Now, loading means when goods are loaded on board the vessel. For container transport, that means when the cables go slack and are no longer holding the container. The buyer and seller should agree on exactly what loaded on board means in the sales contract, because it can vary for different types of vessels and commodities. Companies in the United States that are new to exporting and importing often get tripped up using Incoterms for international transactions. They may be used to using domestic terms of sale that include some variation of FOB, like FOB origin or FOB destination. Those terms are derived partially from the Uniform Commercial Code. When it comes to international trade, companies using best practices will switch to Incoterms 2020 rules, in which case it's not uncommon and frequently not appropriate to use FOB for international shipments. If you are regularly involved in international trade, you need to understand the risks and responsibilities for each of the Incoterms 2020 rules, not just pick the term you always use. Shipping Solutions is here to help. Download our free chart of responsibilities to compare all 11 Incoterms and our free white paper, An Introduction to Incoterms. You'll find links below. If you liked this video, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Watch for more videos sharing real practical advice for exporters and importers.